Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Woo! What a day. I just spent the last 15 minutes recording into a blank microphone. No recording whatsoever. And I'm telling you, it was awesome what I was laying down, which you cannot pick up now because, quite frankly, I was all over the place. So let me start again. Hey, this is Dan, the No Comfort Zone guy, helping you get out of your comfort zone so you can live on purpose. I talk about a reality check because here's the deal. 15 years ago, miserable, broke, completely sick, ill, apathy 100%, didn't want to live anymore. And I've spent a lot of time working my way back to being successful and coming to a place where I can appreciate the person I am based on where I've been. And now I'm just helping people get their goals. That's all it really comes down to. And recently, I actually have a coaching client that I'm helping with relationships. Now, I am not a relationship expert. The whole program for me is I have failed more times in areas because I took risk and failed, but bounced back, and I've learned something each time I failed. So I don't know much about relationships, but I do know one thing. I do know that I do have the woman of my dreams. She found me because I was living right. I was doing the right things at the right time. And more importantly, when no one was watching, I was doing the right thing. What does that mean? What does that really mean? Character. If you want to find the relationship of your dreams, you got to have a strong character and you got to be true to you. And I can't tell you enough that if you're going to wave back and forth, if you're going to waver on who you are and you're going to lack character, you're never going to find the woman of your dreams. You're never going to find the man of your dreams. You got to be solid in who you are, and you have to have a strong character and let everybody know exactly who you are and what you're about. Because that's exactly what I did. I was very good at being alone because I realized that my mistakes in my life were based on poor relationship choices because of a need to not be alone. Terrible reason to get into a relationship. And if you've done that before, and if you know what I'm talking about, hit me up somewhere on social media and tell me you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because there's nothing worse than being in a bad relationship for the wrong reasons. It might be good for 2 minutes, but man, afterwards, it just turns into holy hell. So what happens when you do a bad relationship? When you get into a bad relationship, the next wrong thing happens. It just starts to, it starts to all fall apart. Finances go, job starts to compromise, other relationship compromise, all because you wanted to be in a relationship. Bad reason. So this person's a young guy and actually reaching out, and they reach out and go, you know what? I need some old school techniques. And I'm like, wow, hey, I'm no Casanova, man. I don't know. I just read a lot of books on the subject of relationships, boundaries, and the psychology of attraction when it comes to a relationship. And I have read a lot of books, and I've applied those principles. I've made some huge mistakes, took gigantic risks. But in the end, when I just let it happen, it was so easy. And now I'm going to be married 8 years to the woman of my dreams. And we're actually married 8 years. And I'm excited because at 10 years, we're going to be going, at the 10-year anniversary, we're going to be going to Italy to celebrate our 10 years. And it's exciting because it's something that we've wanted to do, and we're going to go do that. And I'm pretty excited from where I was at 15 years ago, not having a place to live, to facing the challenge of, hey, I get to go travel overseas to go to Italy to celebrate a 10-year anniversary when I was the loneliest, most apathetic person in the world, to really having the woman of my dreams, literally. Because about 12 years ago, I wrote down in a book what my ideal relationship would look like, what the ideal person would look like, communication style, occupation, religion. I wrote it all down, and it was like 4 pages, and I wrote down a very solid description, and I looked at it often. And do I want to say that that's the person I held out for? No, because I've been in other relationships. But when I committed to, you know what, I'm going to hold out for this person. I'm going to focus on me in the meantime. And when this person shows up, I'll be ready. And I don't know, maybe 6 months later, that person showed up, and that's my wife today. Because I did have a vision in my mind's eye as far as exactly what I wanted her to look like, be like, act like, talk like, everything. And somebody would say, that's very objectifying, but it's really not, because my soulmate's character is more important to me than anything. I wanted somebody, believe it or not, that could beat me in an argument, because I love to argue, in case you didn't know. But I'll get on a topic, and I just love to argue. Argue in a positive way. I like to debate. I like to prove points. I like to throw facts in there. I know a lot about a little, or a little about a lot. I don't know how the way that's supposed to go, but I do. And actually, I wanted somebody that I could talk to, have a conversation with, because I like talking. I'm driving in my car to and from work, talking to nobody except you in podcast land, trying to stay connected. So I enjoy talking. Fact is, I found somebody that likes to talk just as much as I do. And one of the best parts of my life, Sunday morning, we get up early, we have coffee together, and we talk. We just talk about things. And it goes on for maybe 15 minutes. Then it turns into 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours later, we've talked about everything under the sun. And then we spend the rest of the day together talking and getting stuff done and doing our thing. But it's wonderful. And then in the evening, we do the exact same thing. So why am I talking about this now? Because this person reached out to me and is having a hard time in the current relationship that they want to be in. And I told my best friend a long time ago, I said, you know what? I think that men today found themselves becoming, soft. Just not like the men of the 50s, not men. And what they end up doing is they became so superficial. They became so needy, so emotional. And when I talk to women today, it's the same thing. We think as men that if we can just accommodate a woman's feelings and emotions, that they're going to like us. Well, my opinion is that's absolutely the worst thing you could do. You have to be true to you first. And yeah, you have to show caring and understanding and listening and compassion, of course. But when you start to act like, or when you start to get all about the feelings and the emotion, hey, that's okay. It's okay to express yourself. But the fact is I think that people are looking for safety and security. That's why I'm so aggressive on the no comfort zone. I get myself so uncomfortable that I can be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Because when shit hits the fan, who are they going to look to? Who is another person going to look to? Who are your friends going to look to? When a problem needs to be solved, they want to look to the person who's the most secure, who's the most fit. And I don't mean physically fit, I mean emotionally fit when it comes to character. And I believe that's what the opposite sex is looking for. Or that's what the people want to be in a relationship look for, is they look for the character of the other person. When it really gets bad, are you going to be there for me? Are you going to have a solution? Are you going to have problem-solving skills? Are you going to be connected? Because that's really what it takes. And when we find ourselves going down the rabbit hole of trying to like everything the other person is going to do, or trying to be accommodated, or compromise, it's a big word I hate. Compromise yourself, because when you compromise yourself once in a relationship, you're going to do it over and over and over again, and you're going to get to a point where you don't even know who you are anymore. Winner, I've been there. That's me. That's me and my relationships. And now I don't do that anymore, because the guy that goes to bed at night, when I wake up, I'm the same guy that went to bed. I don't have to worry about who I am or what I've done. I know 100% who I am. And I don't have to answer to anybody, including my wife. Now, some people will say, well, Dan, I met your wife. You answer to all the time. I respect and value and cherish the communication and the relationship I have with my wife, but it's all earned. Everything I do with my wife is on a very honest level. And if you know me and you know my wife, you know that's very true. I don't run or hide from anything. So my wife has full access to all the passwords, to social media, my phone, everything. She has 100% access to it, and she never goes into it. But I don't do anything for her to worry about. I'm as solid as an oak. And she's the same way too. Now, that's dangerous to talk about. No, it's not. Because when you know who you are, and you know the decisions you make, and you make those decisions together, we're a solid partnership. And it's nice to say that, because 15 years ago, I could never have said that. I didn't want to live 15 years ago, let alone be in a relationship. I mean, to be this strong and passionate about a relationship is exciting. Now I have my coaching client that's interested in getting this relationship and asking me what type of communication style that I use. Just genuine, sincere, respectful. Do I show admiration? Do I show affection? Absolutely. Am I a little cocky? For sure. Am I trying to be funny? Absolutely. But in the end, your partner needs to know one thing, that when things go really bad, that you're not going to fall apart. And how do you not fall apart? You really stay vigilant on not getting too comfortable. You have a responsibility to take care of the people around you. And if you're the head of the household, or if you're in a relationship and you've gone through adversity together, you know that's not easy. But you have to be the strength. So the No Comfort Zone blueprint helps you to become a stronger person. So the end result is, are you a weak person? Honestly, are you a weak person? Answer that honestly. Are you a weak person? Because you know what? 3 years ago, even though on the outside I looked like a strong guy, like I was ready to go, fact of the matter is, man, I have failed so much in my life. I am broken. And I didn't want to feel broken anymore. I wanted to feel strong, capable, confident, with conviction about who I am. And I just wasn't getting there going through the day-to-day. So I decided to put myself through a very unique 60-day time period where at the end of it, damn it, I was going to become the person I've always wanted to be. And I did. It was a choice I made every time I woke up at 4:55. It was a decision every time I took a cold shower. Every time I decided to stop what I was doing in my chaotic work life to take a moment to reach out to my wife and wish her a good day. It's those minutes and those moments that define me, who I am today. Because the truth be told, those minutes and moments were some of the most challenging minutes and moments that I've ever been through. And I've been through a lot in my life. But when you decide to put yourself into those minutes and moments with intention, not by accident, not because of a reaction, but because it's being proactive, you will change as a person and you will become stronger. You will be that person that people look up to, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it for sure as heck can happen in 60 days. And I'll take you through it. If you're that person that wants to be more man enough or more woman enough, and if you're looking for that person, that you just need to be that person and you don't want to take shit from anybody anymore, this is really what you need to go through. You need to put yourself through it. I'm so happy and grateful that I put myself through this crazy 60-day time period that I want you to go through it too, just to experience how wonderful it is at the end. It's not that hard. It's not like you're going through SEAL training that I've never gone through before. It's not like that. This is more of a mental, more of a day-to-day. Because you do want to give more of yourself, you want to be more of yourself, and you also want to have more for yourself and the people around you. And this is a great way to get it. So with the person I'm working with right now, my hope is this: within a 72-hour period of getting outside the comfort zone and being so compulsive when it comes to the text and social media, say and do this and do that. And the next thing you know, the person's coming around. And it's funny. I know just enough to get myself into trouble. And by knowing just enough to get myself into trouble when it comes to relationships, I found my dream wife. I found my dream relationship, my wife now. And that was the goal of going through all this stuff, all the mistakes, the trials, the tribulations. It all came down to this. So the end, did I achieve my goal? I absolutely did. I achieved success when it came to my relationship because I know in my heart the relationship's forever. What a great place to be. And how I got there? What a journey. And that's what I want to do, is just show you just a little bit more than what you've gone through. I know just a little bit more. If you're in a position where you're not the person you want to be, I can help you become that person. Thanks so much for listening to my podcast. I hope that you're having a great end of the year. Remember, 2020 is a great time for you to get outside of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.